We can talk about free throws and not have it be about a loss.
Oh man, that was some pretty bad free throw shooting. You know, I don't even know what to tell you. I will say, you know, we haven't been in a position to shoot free throws under that kind of pressure this year. And you know, as much pressure as we put on in practice with running and everything else we do, sometimes it doesn't translate to having to beat Boise State by making free throws. You know, when you're a Vandal. And you know, the good news is, you're right, we didn't get hurt. You know, we didn't ultimately get hurt by it. We pulled it out despite it.
How come? What was the difference for you guys?
I think we did a tremendous job of sharing the basketball tonight and making the extra pass. Our shot selection just was night and day from what happened in Hawaii. You know, had a bunch of people doing one-on-one, one-on-two stuff out over on the island, and here tonight, the ball movement was great. The best job we've done of running our regular motion offense. You know, we didn't have to run a bunch of set plays. We just kind of went with that flow, and people really doing a great job of being unselfish and sharing the basketball.
And also on defense, you know, you gave up a little bit inside to Bose, but at the same time, you managed to shut down some of their bigger shooters. Yeah,
I mean, you know, our focus obviously going in is Harris and Van Hoogen. You know, two tremendous players, great players. You know, and if they're going to throw it into Boss that many times, well, you know, good for her. I mean, she did a great job tonight. You know, she averages 7 points a game. She had almost 29 points tonight. She was finishing inside. I do think we let her get too low at times. And, you know, the thing about it is we didn't want to send anybody off of Van Hoogen or Harris to help yank out in there like we did in the Santa Barbara game. You know, we were able to because they didn't have as many shooters. So we were going to, you know, pick your poison with Boise. I mean, they're great outside shooters, and tonight Boss really stepped up for them. Gave us problems in the paint.
I was pretty impressed, though, that Inca didn't get in foul trouble against her. It hasn't been her strength this year.
I agree. No, it's something, you know, we talked extensively about to her and Clokey about, you know, getting in early foul trouble. You know, there's a fine line between being, you know, aggressive and too aggressive, and, you know, just getting you know, fouls where you don't need to be getting them. And I thought she did a great job of just moving her feet, getting around. Even though, you know, Boss goes for 29, I still think we did a good job of kind of disrupting her offense, I guess is the best way to put it.
Could you just talk and give us your impressions of that overtime period? It was up and down and things were going on. And
a lot of stuff going on. Well, I told him, you know, after Clokey didn't make the shot at the end of regulation, you know, I came over, our heads were down a little bit, and I said, look, nobody got hurt, man. It doesn't matter. We got 5 minutes. All it means is we have to work hard for 5 more minutes. I said, you know, we put enough time on the practice floor to get this done. And, you know, I said the key here is we have got to get out of the gate. We got to put the pedal to the metal in the overtime. We have got to take control from the start of the overtime. And the kids really took that to heart, and I thought they really went out and attacked offensively. I said, you cannot play back on your heels in an overtime. And I thought we really did a good job on the glass of keeping them one and done in the overtime when they were really, you know, trying to shove it down our throat. And we did a super job of decision making, and then it just came down obviously to the free throws and a couple of layups that you know, would have been nice to make as well.
I can't remember seeing Shara miss a layup like that in years.
Oh well, you should have got film from the Hawaii.
Yeah, I didn't want to see the Hawaii things. I listened. That was something else.
Yeah, it was exactly that actually. Yeah.
In thinking back to overtimes last year, you had an overtime here against La Tech, and I know you remember, or I remember you saying after that game that they didn't really know how to handle the overtime, and this went too hard, too fast. And can you kind of compare how this team handled it this year?
Yeah, I think the year of maturity for the guys that were here last year really helped them to be in that situation. You know, to stay focused, to not get down, and know that, you know, you start from scratch. You got 5 minutes, you know. And I do believe that experience last year and those close games, you know, because we had obviously the double overtime with Utah State, you know, the overtime with Utah State. You know, we had a lot of overtime, it seemed like last year. I mean, look at Char's minutes, you know. And so, you know, I think that experience certainly helped the guys that were here last year. And, you know, Bianca's been in a lot of games and with me at Idaho State, too, that have gone in overtime. And she knows how to handle that kind of pressure as well. She knows what I want out of her in a close game.
talk about what this win does for this program right about now with starting the WAC season and got a big home crowd and you get a big win against a rival.
Yeah, man, the crowd was great. You know, it was really, really awesome to see all the people there and cheering for us. And I just told Johnny Ballgame, you know, I understand I've only been here going in my second year now, but I understand the rivalry with the Broncos and how important and special it is. And you know, certainly Yinka and Shar were really, really tuned into that for sure. And so it's, you know, it's always sweet to get a win over the Broncos with the rivalry factor, but you know, we needed a win, period. And you know, every game's a big game for us in the WAC, and that's what I told these guys is we just gotta, you know, we just gotta keep battling, man. And now, you know, it helps get a little momentum, get on the road because New Mexico State is playing out of their minds this year, and you know, San Jose beat Cal, and Cal's 22nd in the country, so it doesn't get any easier from tonight.
It gets a little easier from tonight. Because you got to win going into it. It'd be a lot harder if you're going in with an overtime loss.
It'll be a shorter plane ride to Las Cruces than
Yeah.
it was coming home from Hawaii. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I can tell you that. But yeah, you know, hopefully get a little extra bounce in our step. You know, as we hit the road with a little momentum, it'd be nice.